on April the 15th. Yeah. This year, because of COVID, they pushed it to, you've guessed it, August the 28th. Yesterday. He is also famous for playing in the movie Marshall. Theodore Marshall was instrumental in the March on Washington, 1963, that famous march. And when was that? When is the day? Today, August the 29th. If anyone thinks that Chadwick Boseman being reported to be dead on the day that Jackie Robinson, his breakthrough role, is being commemorated, which was moved from April, on the day, this day in history that you had the March on Washington, in which Theodore Marshall was instrumental. Today, if you think that's a coincidence, that is happening at the time of some of the biggest protests, that the Black Panther is dead, and we've just come out of Leo seasons and the big cat is dead. If you think that's a coincidence, I don't know what to tell you. Ladies. Yes, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. Virgo 2020 began on the 22nd of August at 5:45 British Summer Time. It was preceded and somewhat upstaged by a dramatic late new moon in Leo on August the 19th. And the Empire strikes back. The Leonian, courageous big cat, Black Panther, revolutionary spirit, was symbolically neutralized as Mars squared up to Saturn. So, glasses on, critical thinking caps in place as we prepare for round 2 of Dissent and Discernment versus Draconian Control. Honestly, I was so caught up in the predicted civil disobedience and protests and the unexpected but uncannily synchronous passing of Chadwick that I'm only now, September the 2nd, able to record this Virgo season offering. So by now, we're probably knee deep in the themes that I foreshadowed, including critical thinking versus Kobe 1984 crackdowns. Let me look back at my notes. Nature versus needles. Discernment v dictatorship. Back to school, back to business, while battling the BORG and the medical mafia. Masks and mandates versus mind over matter and logic. Holistic health, self-help and self-sufficiency versus coercion and chemical cocktails. Parents' rights versus PCR tests. Nutrition versus nanobots. But never fear, Virgo detectives. I'm late, but my foresight is not hindsight. I did actually foreshadow and warn, and I hope forewarned was forearmed, in Facebook on Sonya Stars and Soul, my Facebook page. So follow me there after you like, comment and subscribe here, please. Thank you. Some of you did actually give me some comments for my Leo season video, so thank you so very much. But yes, I did actually commit this to paper, and the receipts are in Facebook. And yes, that it can be confirmed that these pronouncements, protestations, I can't even say the word, were provided by the big clock in the sky, as always, because the rulers of this world are subject to the movements of the heavens, just like everybody else. Yep, as I foretold, even as early as Leo season, well, with the help of the wonderful William Stick Evers, Super Astro and Osha, those mundane masters, the Empire strikes back in September. And in my opinion, the first blow was symbolized by the death of the Black Panther. Again, condolences to the family of Chadwick. His passing on the rescheduled Jackie Robinson Memorial Day, on the eve of worldwide protest against infringement of our civil liberties and pandemics, and the anniversary of the 1963 Civil Rights March on Washington. Even as we pay our respects, the timing of his passing is incredible, and the synchronicity and symbolism just too powerful and ritualistic to be ignored. In the Leo season, I did warn you that warrior Mars, assertive and at home in Aries, having been inflated by Jupiter, was on a collision course for a date with fate, and was about to get trapped and checked by the planet of limitation, Saturn, draconian and governmental retrograde in Capricorn. Yes, the big cats were neutralized. Yes, as we left the Leo season and entered the controlled and caged Virgo season. I suspect, and I really do have to look up my notes because I'm choosing my words carefully. I suspect that Chadwick's passing and the momentary taking down of the Black Panther spirit that he embodied on screen is highly symbolic and goes far beyond race, and speaks of the battle for our very humanity in the face of the threat of the transhuman fourth industrial revolution and all the rest. See my post on the passing of Black Panther and the symbology also in Facebook. Yeah, Sonya, Stars and Soul. But as always, for the full decode, raw and uncensored, and the astro intel on surviving Virgo season and the age of Aquarius agenda, once again, please join us in Dark Star, where there are no sacred cows and no rabbit hole too deep. For the Sun-Kissed sisters, of course, as always, join us in Facebook in Supernova. Forgive me, but I know you're watching me, Virgo. I said that last year, and because I don't want to get it wrong for you, I'm going to keep consulting my notes. I'm 55. So, in Virgo season, it's time for public scrutiny to get serious and political protest to progress from outright sponsored anarchy to organised action and articulate argument. with Mercury gaining mental might first in Virgo and then in cool judicial Libra from September the 6th. It really is time to put away and turn away from those distracting, scripted celebrity scandals towards monitoring the medical mafia and exposing the machinations of the Big Pharma, Big Brother alliance. Challenge the new normal. The heavens suggest that the powers that be may gain the upper hand for this round, with Mars retrograde. Even though it's in Aries, it's retrograde from September 9th to November 13th, and Saturn direct from September 29th. Get ready for some Gilead style reality checks as governments worldwide demand duty and attempt to enforce the most draconian measures ever to be enforced in democratic society. Measures including, and the list is woeful, so try and keep the spirits up, including quarantine hotspots, penalties, mask mandates for lock-up learning, travel restrictions, border controls, warp speed trials, and presumptuous, perilous pre-ordering of early trials of said and even premature talk of mandating such precautionary experimental medical intervention. Not to mention, expect more Aussie style militarized home invasion. However, all is not lost. The battle may be lost, but the war is far from over. So watch out for some windows of opportunity around tonight's full moon in nebulous Pisces that can be quite slippery and gaseous. Might be able to slip in and out of some certain prison bars. On September the 12th, when Jupiter, god of freedom, finally goes direct. And at the new moon in Virgo on September 17th, better late than never, when we might be able to, absorb and adopt some of that analytical Virgo skill and strategy. All is not lost. All is not lost. So once more, for the record, I did detail and document it last year, but one more time for the newbies, and because it's a fresh year, fresh energy, let's take a whistle-stop look at Virgo Psychology 101. I'm still going to look at my notes, Virgo, because I really wouldn't want to put a foot wrong. Okay? So you can get your microscope out. It's okay. I'm used to it. It's expected. Your motto: I analyze, synthesize, categorize, criticize, and quietly control. Your symbol: the Virgin. Yet another misunderstood and misrepresented, minimized, powerful feminine figure, subordinated, and sanitized in the modern era and the patriarchal age coming to an end soon. Just you wait and see. As I explained, check out last year's Virgo video. It should be posted here. There should be a card. Yep. Originally, the Virgin was the autonomous, abundant, great harlot goddess, like the likes of Artemis, the 50-breasted, potent, autonomous, abundant, I said autonomous, free-spirited, independent goddess who was sacred and sovereign. Long story. Your ruler, officially thrice great Hermes, as I said, but the god of commerce and communication. But as I explained last year, in my opinion, Virgo is much more connected and better represented by Chiron, the wonderful wounded healer, demigod, wise king of the dual-natured centaurs. Yes, they're one part man and one part horse, grounded in the natural world. Yep. Yes. Who was the instructor and guru to the Olympian champions? Oh, there goes my phone. And gifted mankind with healing arts, practical skill, and insight in his relentless search for a cure. Yes, remember Hercules accidentally wounded him with an arrow dipped in the blood of the Hydra. Interesting stuff. But I digress. I've been through that before. Yeah. This connection, which I and a few others make between Virgo and Chiron, is especially pertinent and relevant this Virgo season, because Chiron is currently with Mars in Aries, and I really think that his role as instructor, of the champions, those solar Martian heroes, would serve us well now. Some might say, well, with Chiron in Mars, next to Mars in Aries, Chiron may add to the crippling of Mars, that's being limited by those squares and his retrograde motion. Mars representing the people's rebellion. But I hope and am of a mind to believe that Chiron's wisdom and skill will now inform the martial quality, inform our pushback, and help us to use the discernment, wisdom, and strategy of Virgo to gain the upper hand against Saturnian power grabs. That was a mouthful. But I digress. Your prime directive as the young adult of the zodiac, firstly, to synthesize the lessons in human development from all the 5 signs that preceded you. I said this last time. Yes, I'm repeating myself, Virgo, but everyone deserves to have it said again in their season. I mean, you are awfully stereotyped, aren't you? So all of this will help towards your the restoration of your image and the rescue from the armchair aficionados running around YouTube talking rubbish. Yes. Yep. To become a beacon and guru of human health and master of self-sufficiency and systems analyst. I think that cosmic systems analysts, yes, it's better than the bank manager or tax collector of the society. To utilize your aptitude for learning, your gifts of intelligence, realism, dedication, and discrimination to create clarity, gain practical wisdom, and useful knowledge, but above all, to be respected and appreciated for your ability to teach what you learn.
to us. As for your well-documented shadow, quite frankly, I've done it all before, and given the times that we're in, I think we're going to need to draw upon all your screening, scrutinizing, critical discernment, and strategizing to outthink and organize ourselves against the encroachment of the brave new world. So I think we'll dispense with those ludicrously oversimplified, remedial, and stereotypical criticisms and accusations leveled at Virgo. You know, things like boring, nitpicky, uptight, OCD, train spotter, not to mention the neurotic, secretly chaotic know-it-alls. But no, like I said, we'll dispense with that. Forget I said it. And we're going to show some love to the most central, sensual, selective of the sensible down to salt of the earth signs. So let's celebrate and appreciate the insightful, indispensable, self-effacing, self-sufficient, and sexy scholars of the zodiac. May the force be with you.